Hey, this is Annika Bigeleisen, and I am recording by myself right now without Aaron Bigeleisen. And that is because we are several hundred miles apart right now. I am on the beach in Florida, and he is back home in the mountains in North Carolina. And I wanted to give an update by myself this time, and just kind of share what's happening with the Bigeleisen Soap Opera and in our lives. So I just came upon a wedding here on the beach, and I had all of the feels because we did not just postpone our wedding, we actually canceled it. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. It was also really emotional because I just came from Montgomery, Alabama, and did the Civil Rights Trail. Saw all these places where Martin Luther King preached and where the Civil Rights Movement started. And this was an interracial couple. So it was like really beautiful watching them get married and all their friends and relatives in all different skin tones being here celebrating their union. And then also just kind of like some of the disappointment and sadness over Aaron and I not having a wedding this year. And the reason we canceled it, or at least one of the main reasons we canceled is because we're basically looking at there being three different kinds of ceremonies for our relationship. One of them, the one that we did first, is our legal wedding, our commitment to one another, to see this through, to be with each other no matter what, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how dark it gets, and to stay with each other and make adjustments to how we relate, to how close we are physically or emotionally or spiritually, etc., but to stay committed to one another. And that is the ceremony that we did pretty much just between the two of us for our elopement in December of 22. So we're married, we're legally married, we are staying married, we are staying together. However, a wedding is more than just two people making a commitment to each other. And that's the whole point of having a wedding ceremony, is that it is for family and friends to come together and support the couple, but also for people to join a new family. So by getting married to Aaron, I married into a family as well. I took his last name, and I now have a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, sisters-in-law, uncles-in-law, nieces, nephews. Actually, no nieces and nephews, but but there are relatives that are in-laws for me, and same with Aaron. He married into a family, and he has a family in-law. And part of the wedding, I think, is not just the two people making a commitment to each other, but also about them joining into a whole family. And the reality is that our families are not excited about this. They don't want this. There are members of my family, Aaron's in-laws, who won't even speak to him. And there are members of Aaron's family, my in-laws, who will not speak to me. So it seems rather idiotic to have a wedding when our families are not celebrating or even accepting our relationship and our union and the idea that we are becoming a family together and are joining, and thereby are joining their family too. That I have become a part of his extended family, and he has become a part of my extended family. And that would be a big part of having a wedding, and that's currently not the reality that we are living. So that is probably the main reason why we canceled our wedding. There's a third element, a third ceremony that we are looking to have, which is sort of more like an initiation for the two of us, because we started our relationship backwards. We started with all of the darkness, all of the shadow, all of the drama that many relationships end up in over the years. Plenty of people who get married The families are super happy for them. Everybody's really, really happy. And then 2 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, they end up in places where Aaron and I started. With doors being slammed, people running out, lots of drama, lots of conflict, and then relatives encouraging the couple to separate. We kind of started there. So what we're looking for is a third ritual or ceremony or celebration when it feels like we have really made that transition from shadow into light, where our relationship is no longer based on I'm not sure how to say this. I'm not sure which words to choose. I'm not sure what words to choose, but it's no longer based on this this thing that we've been doing, but where we are celebrating, we're just celebrating our togetherness. And I guess the difference is that we have bonded a lot and connected a lot over pain that we have both carried individually before we met each other, but that we have brought out in each other. And what we're really looking forward to is connecting more through pleasure. And we're working on that transition right now, but we're still in the middle of that transition. There's still a lot of ways that we are not connecting that I know we will be connecting in the future. And then there are some shadow ways, some ways of connecting through trauma patterns and trauma bonding and pain that we are moving out of, but are still slipping back into and collapsing back into. So it doesn't feel like it's the time to have a celebration of the conclusion of that journey and the beginning of a new one. Feels like we're still in the transitional phase. And so a ritual that would be basically an initiation for the two of us and a celebration of us stepping into this new way of relating to each other is also too early. So basically we're looking at hopefully having 2 more ceremonies. One being a wedding where we can celebrate the merging of our families and our families coming together, but that would require some changes in our families to take place, because right now they don't want that. So and then the third ritual would be this initiation celebration of people who actually really understand what it means to be on this journey that we have been on, to allow these wounded parts of the self to emerge and to relate to each other. And who also, what I'm really looking for and what I'm really excited about is to have a celebration of how incredible the changes are that we have lived through together, and how amazing it is that we have gone into places so dark. Many people will never go there, or if they go there, will absolutely fight against it and believe that it should not be happening. And yet we have gone to those places together, and we have come out on the other side. And each time we emerge from going into one of those dark places, we emerge so much more connected to ourselves, so much more connected to God, so much more real, and so much more able to show up in the world in a real and transformative way. So that's something I'm really looking forward to celebrating. So anyways, that's just a brief update right now from the beach here in Florida. This trip was supposed to be Aaron and I. We were supposed to go together to the Eclipse Festival, and we decided that based on where we are currently at and how triggering road trips are to Aaron's inner world, it would be a better idea for me to go with Mead, my best friend Mead, who was actually supposed to be the cat sitter so that Aaron and I can go. And instead, Aaron is hanging out with the cats, and Mead and I are on this road trip to go see the eclipse. That's it for now. I will post another update soon. And thank you for sticking with the Bigeleisen Soap Opera.